What's up, YouTube? This is Bison X89. Alright, guys, I'm here on the official Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading Card Game Card Database card list page for the upcoming King's Court set. This set comes out July 9th, which is next Friday. Typically, the set is designed to support the face cards, Queen's Knight, King's Knight, King's Knight, that Yu-Gi utilized in the anime to use as tribute fodder for the Egyptian god cards. So you can utilize this card as these cards as an engine for Obelisk, Cypher, or even Rob, which is very awesome. You can also play this archetype plane, and you can actually mesh in some pretty awesome light warrior type monsters to help flesh out the deck even further. To be very honest, I'm liking a lot of the support for the face cards, and I can tell you right now, it's going to be, if not a deck, a solid engine. So without further ado, we're going to jump right into this. Okay, so first card, Arcana Triumph Joker. It's the level 10 light attribute warrior monster. Question mark attack, 2500 defense. If this card's in your hand or graveyard, you can send one Queen's Knight, King's Knight, Jack's Knight from your hand or face up monster zone to the graveyard and special summon this card, so it's easy to get out. This card gains 500 attack times the combined number of cards in both players' hand, and that's the part of the effect I'm really having issues with. Anytime you have to rely on your opponent to power boost your own cards, it's gonna backfire on you. If the opponent combos off and only has maybe one or two cards in your hands, you're not going to get that many points off of them, which means you really have to worry about your own hand management to get the most out of this card. Its last effect, you can discard one card, destroy all face-up cards your opponent controls with the same type monster, spell, or trap as the discarded card. Alright, so not bad to pop all the monsters on your opponent's field. Face-up spells and traps really depend on what deck your opponent is using. So, alright, not bad. I mean, if you're going to run this card, maybe a 1 of or 2 of, but not more than that. When it comes down here to Joker's Knight, light level 5 warrior monster, 2000 attack, 1400 defense. This card, I can tell you right now, anytime you see Jokers in the name, it's going to be epic. Send one Queen's Knight, King's Knight, Jack's Knight from your deck to the graveyard. Special summon this card from your hand, and if you do this, the card's name becomes the set monster's name until the end phase. I can tell you right now, this card is basically the wild card for the face card archetype, and just being able to get you the pieces allows you to actually be able to function this deck even greater than anything before, which is huge. Alright, and then all the Joker's cards have this similar effect. During the end phase of cards in your graveyard, you can target one other light warrior monster in your graveyard, shuffle it back into your deck, and then if you do, you add this card in your hand. You can only use each effect of Joker's Knight once per turn, so you're not going to be able to get multiple copies of this card on the field, but you are going to be able to recur your resources back into your deck and into your hand, so you keep your wild card there. So that's very awesome. Imperial Bower is another great card for the archetype. Level 4 light warrior monster, 1500 attack, 1500 defense. If you control no other monsters, you contribute this card. Take 2 monsters from your deck among Queen's Knight, King's Knight, or Jack's Knight, and either add them to your hand or special summon each monster. You can only use this effect of Imperial Bower once per turn. This is your starter card, which makes it insanely awesome. You can actually just grab your Queen's Knight and King's Knight on the field. Use Joker Knight to basically become Jack's Knight, and you have your trifecta on the field, so you can actually go through your other plays for this particular archetype. I can tell you right now, these 2 cards are definitely something you want to be running multiples of in your deck. Now, coming over down here, the Joker Straight. Oh man, this card is just awesome. Discard 1 card, special summon a Queen's Knight from your deck, and add King's Knight or Jack's Knight from your deck to your hand. And then immediately after this effect resolves, you normal summon 1 monster. Typically, what you're going to want to be doing is special summon your Queen's Knight and adding King's Knight, because King's Knight effect only activates when you normal summon it, and this card gives you that normal summon right away. You can add special summon monsters from your extra deck except for light warrior monsters, which is not an issue. Queen's Knight, King's Knight, and the Imperial Bower, they're all level 4 light warrior monsters, and there are plenty of Xyz monsters you can actually go into that can actually benefit from this. During the end phase, if this card's in your graveyard, similar to the other Joker cards, you're going to be able to get a light warrior monster back into your deck and add this card back to your hand. Very awesome. Face card fusion. This is the fusion spell for the face card archetype. to summon one Light Warrior monster from your extra deck using cards from your hand or field as fusion material. If you control a Queen's Knight, King's Knight, or Jack's Knight, you can use one monster from your deck as fusion material, which is awesome. All right, so if you're using Bower to get your Queen's Knight and King's Knight on the field, you can activate Face Card Fusion and send Jack's Knight from your deck, and boom, you have your Arcana Knight Joker or your fusion monster. And of course, Thunder Speed Summon. This is more for the getting the level 10 out or your Egyptian Gods. During your main phase, immediately after this effect results, normal summon one level 10 monster, and if you control Queen's Knight, King's Knight, and Jack's Knight, you can apply this effect. Instead, add one level 10 non-dark monster with question mark attack from your deck to your hand, and immediately after this effect resolves, you can normal summon one level 10 monster. Typically, you can actually search out your new big guy, Slifer, or Ra with this spell, and I can tell you right now, it's actually really good, since you can activate it during the battle phase, so you can get an additional attack from a high power monster. If you have Obelisk in your hand, you can also use this card as well, or any of the Joshin, which are actually included in this set as reprints. Okay, moving forward, we have Joker's Wild, which is the best trap card in the archetype. During the main phase or battle phase, send one spell card to your deck or graveyard that specifically lists all of Queen's Knight, King's Knight, and Jack's Knight. So it's essentially being a substitute play for either of these cards. This effect becomes the spell's effect when that card is activated. During the end phase, again, you can recycle a Light Warrior monster to add this card back to your hand. So essentially, you can actually make this into a trap card version of Predator Anaconda and use this for Face Card Fusion. And of course, Thunder Speed Summon also has all three of the monsters, so you can use this instead. So this card can allow you to access your fusion plays or your level 10 summon. So very good. Moving forward, we have Court of Cards. If you control no monsters or only Queen's Knight, King's Knight, or Jack's Knight, you can special summon one Queen's Knight, King's Knight, or Jack Knight from your hand or graveyard. Alright, so you get your additional bodies on the board, but since it's a trap, you have to wait a turn to use it. You can banish this card up to one each Queen's Knight, King's Knight, and or Jack's Knight from your hand or graveyard to draw some number of cards that banished. So it does give you extra draws, but you're giving up resources, and considering the Joker's cards recycle those resources back into your deck, I'm not sure if you really want to be doing that with this card. Yeah, I can get you specifically one of these three cards, but I don't know. This card is not seeming very awesome for me. But that's it for the face card support. And I can tell you right now, from Joker's Knight down to Joker's Wild, the cards are actually pretty awesome, so not bad. We're going to come over here to some of the newer cards that support some older archetypes. Magnet Induction supports Magnet Warriors. If you control a Magnet Warrior whose original level is 4 or lower, special summon one level 4 or lower Magnet Warrior from your deck with a different name than the card you control. Okay, so you're adding additional bodies into the board. Also, for the rest of the turn, after this card resolves, Magnet Warrior and Magna Warrior monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle or your opponent's card effects. And I can tell you right now, not only are you getting extra monsters on board, you're actually protecting your monsters for the rest of the turn. This card is insane for the Magnet Warrior deck. And I can tell you right now, this is definitely something that I want to see more of. Alright, next up we have XYZ Hyper Cannon. You must control XYZ Dragon Cannon or a fusion monster that lists XYZ Dragon Cannon as material to activate this card effect. So anytime you need a X monster on the field, it's kind of very limiting. And this card's effect depends on whose turn it is. If it's your turn, you target one of your banished unit monsters and place it on the bottom of your deck. And if you do draw a card, okay, recycling banished cards, not bad. If it's your opponent's turn, discard any number of cards and target the same number of cards your opponent controls and destroy those cards. So it's basically, essentially, on your opponent's turn, an amped up version of Dragon Cannon's effect. Alright. It's not that good, so, but it's an extra piece for the deck, so maybe. Golden Eyes Idol, Dark level 1 spellcaster. Once per turn, quick effect, you can activate this effect. Look at your opponent's hand. Also, this card becomes Thousand Eyes Idol until the end phase. Okay. So it's future substitute material. If this card is banished or sent to the graveyard by a card effect, You can target one effect monster your opponent controls, equip that effect monster to an Ice Restrict or Relinquish monster you control that cannot be normal summon. While equipped by this effect, that monster gains attack equal to the attack of the equipped monster. Okay, so this card can actually, you use this card as a tribute material for Relinquished or fusion material for Thousand Ice Restrict, or even Millennium Ice Restrict, and you can just immediately grab up one of your opponent's effect monsters. That's not bad, especially for that particular deck. And then of course we have Zolga the Prophet. If you control an Earth Fairy monster, except for Zolga the Prophet, you can special summon this card from your hand. Then look up to the 5 cards from the top of each player's deck. Oh, so you're actually getting to see what your opponent has. Oof. Okay, anytime you see that, that's pretty big advantage there. When a monster that was normal summoned by tributing this card declares an attack, you can banish this card from your graveyard, destroy that monster, and if you do, inflict 2,000 damage to your opponent. Okay, so it has Blast with Tribute in effects in with its own. Alright, pretty cool. I think this is a card that everybody was looking for. You number FZero, you took a Draco Future. 3 Xyz monster with the same rank except for number monsters. This card's also original rank is treated as 1. This card is always treated as your Utopic Future card. You could also seize this monster by using number FZero Utopic Future, which is reprinted in this set, by the way. Transfer materials to it. Cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. Once per turn, your opponent activates a monster effect. You can attach one material, negate the activation. Then if that monster is on the field, you gain control of it. Ooh, so you can negate monster effects and then swipe your opponent's monster. Very good. 3,000 attack, 2,000 defense. I'm liking this. Alright, so this is definitely one of those cards you want to be looking for. Alright, Guilty of Guild Free, the Magical Steel Knight. Light Warrior, level 8 monster. Okay, 2,700 attack, 1,600 defense. 2 Warrior monsters with different attributes, and that right there is what hurts, because you can't use this with the face card archetype. Ugh. Once per turn, when a card effect is activated, that card targets this card, so it has to be targeted. You can negate that effect, and if you destroy one card in the field, so you don't have to destroy the card that targets it, just destroy any other card. Okay. If this card was fusion summoned using only monsters on the field as material, it can make a second attack during each battle phase. Alright, additional attack, 2,700 body, that's not bad. Once per turn, if this card battles your opponent's monster during damage calculation, you can banish one spell card from your graveyard. This card gains attack equal to half its current defense until the end of the turn. Okay, so you can actually power boost by 800, going up to 35. Not bad. Okay. Crystal Girl. Water level 1 spellcaster monster. If this card was normal special summon, you could activate this card effect during the end phase of the turn. Add 1 level 5 or higher water monster from your deck to your hand. Also, you get an end phase search. If you control level 5 or water monsters, you can send this card. And this card's in your graveyard. You can special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. Okay, so it's essentially water support. Not bad, not the best, in my opinion. Tintangle the holes. Flip effect, send 1 spell trap card from your deck to your graveyard. If this card sent from your hand or deck to your graveyard, target 1 Tintangle monster in your graveyard, except for itself, special summon it in face down defense position. You can use each of the preceding effects of Doles once per turn. The Tintangle Link monster that uses this card as material can make 3 attacks in a battle phase. Wow. Okay. Tintangle support. Rose Princess supports Adhesive cards that we saw in the Lightning Overdrive. If this also Earth level 3 plan effect, 1200, 800. It's a battle stat line. If only your opponent controls a monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. It's also a starter card. If summoned this way, you treat this card as a tuner. Very good. You can only special summon 1 Rose Princess per turn this way. You can discard 1 card, add 1 White Rose Cloister from your deck to your hand, so it can search out your support cards. Not bad. Morph Kings, Digigel. This is one of Jack's cards from the manga. If this card is normal or special summon, target 1 other face monster in the field. You can add special summon monsters from your extra deck, except for synchro monsters for the rest of the turn. Also, change this card's level to the level of the target, and if you do, gain life points equal to that target's level times 200. Oh, so that is life point increase. Alright, that's an effect that wasn't seen in the manga. During your main phase, you can special summon 1 fiend monster with a level lower than this card from your hand. Okay, you can only use this effect of Morph King Stitchy Gel once per turn. So this can help you get your Resonator cards online. Pretty good. Alright, Wise Close Cloister. Again, this is another card like he's used in the manga. Field spell, control no monster, special summon one Rose Dragon monster or one plant monster from your hand. You can only use this effect of Cloister once per turn. During your draw phase, before you draw, you can declare one more card type, monster, spell, or trap. Reveal that top card of your deck. If it's the declared type, apply this effect. For the rest of the turn, even if this card leaves the field, level 7 or higher, synchro monsters gain 1,000 extra attack. Okay, that's actually pretty good, and it kind of mixes in Akiza's psychic ability that she had in the manga as well, so pretty cool. Burning Soul, one of Jack's cards from the manga. If you control a level 8 or higher synchro monster, add one card from your graveyard to your hand except for Burning Soul, then immediately after the effect, synchro summon using monsters you control at this material for the rest of the turn. After this card resolves, your opponent cannot target synchro monsters with card effects. You can only activate one Burning Soul per turn. So very cool. With that, so we're getting some of the manga support for Jack and Akiza. One thing I'm not seeing is the manga support for Crow. We need that Blackwing spell and trap support, Konami. Alright. Moving on, we have Hyper Galaxy, quick play spell card. Tribute one monster, 2,000 more, except for Galaxy Eyes Photon monster. Then target one monster your opponent controls with 2,000 attack more. Tribute it, and if you do, special summon one Galaxy Eyes Photon dragon from your hand, deck, or graveyard. Okay, so this is kind of like, I'm trying to think, almost like Monarch Storm 4th, but on steroids for Galaxy support. Not bad. It's not bad. It allows you to get rid of one of your opponent's monsters and get you a powerful monster on the field as well. So this is definitely something that I am going to be looking at. Pendulum Transfer, some Pendulum support. Next 3 cards. Actually, yeah, next 3 cards. Target up to 2 Pendulum monsters you control. Place those targets in your Pendulum zones. You can only activate 1 transfer 2 per turn. Okay. Cool. This is something that I might want to take a look at for Morphages. Pendulum Ixies, target 2 monsters in your Pendulum zones. Special summon both targets that indicate their effects. Then, immediately after this effect resolves, Ixies summon 1 Ixies monster with those 2 monsters. When you do, you can treat one level of one of the monsters as the same as the other monster. Okay, so that's actually pretty cool. It allows you to add pretty much any card you need and get you into your Ixies monsters. So I'm liking. Dancing Fusion summon 1 fusion monster from your extra by banishing fusion materials on it from your graveyard. Only Pendulum monsters can be used as fusion materials for this card's effect. Okay, so yeah, only from the graveyard, which means you have to send the Pendulum monsters from your, use them as a cost to send from your hand to the graveyard, from your deck to your graveyard, or even as Xyz materials. So this is something a little bit more late game after you're using Pendulum Xyz. Eternal Bond, target any number of full-time monsters in your graveyard, special summon them, but they are effects and negated during your main phase. You can banish this card from your graveyard. Target a full-time monster your opponent controls, take control of it, and if you do, its attack for the rest of the turn becomes combined original attack of all full-time monsters you currently control. Also, you can declare attacks this turn except with that monster. Okay. Interesting card. I'm not very familiar with the full-time monsters, so I don't know which ones you can give control to your opponent. But this can actually help you get back that monster and then power boost it. So, alright, so we have the Reprints, Queen's Knight, King's Knight, Jack's Knight, Arcana Knight Joker, as well as the Arcana Knight Extra Joker. So they're all getting reprinted. Gravekeeper Spy, which is great for any deck that requires multiple tributes. Majestic Dragon, Stardust Xiaolong. Also very good cards for the upcoming Dawn of Majesty set. Rescue Rabbit for getting out your vanillas. And you have 2 Queen's Knight, which can help you through your Xyz plays. Some more reprints of the ZW cards. For Lightning Overdrive, we have Synchro Support, Scrap Twin Dragon, Cloud Castle, Baxia, Brightness, Yangzing, and Chao Fang, Phantom of Yangzing. Makes me wonder if we're getting Yangzing support in the future. But very cool cards to get, Synchros to get reprinted. I would have liked the OG Scrap Dragon rather than Scrap Twin Dragon, but it is what it is. Cloud Castle's pretty good. Gets you back at other level 9, so you go into your level 9 plays. Rank 4 stuff, Utopia. I think that's a natural fit for this particular deck. We also get Utopia Ray. Dolka's getting reprinted. Zamile's getting reprinted. Tomli's getting reprinted. ZW's Leo Arms, Fortune Tune, and Utopia Future all getting reprinted. So some pretty solid Xyz monsters getting reprinted in this set. Infinite cards getting reprinted. Reinforcement in the armies. This is a no-brainer right there. Same thing with Warriors returning alive. Infinite cards more or less to help support Slifer, as well as the new Arcana card, Joker card that's the level 10. Ties of the Brethren, very good for this particular deck. There are plenty of light warrior monsters that are out there. Just off the top of my head, Elemental Hero Alias Neos, or Neos Alias, excuse me. The one like Gawain, and even Photon Thrasher are all great cards that can be mixed in with the base cards to actually build a better deck. If you want to go into focus in on light warriors. Pot of Duality, good. Unexpected Die, also very good. War Legacy Guard Dragon, this card needed to be reprinted. Lightning Storm, now this card is what took me by surprise when I saw this included in this set. Pretty much the signal that we might not be getting this in the Megatins, and we could very well be seeing a second reprint in the Cyber Style Structure deck, which kind of also explains why they moved the Cyber Style Structure deck, which was supposed to be released later in July. So that's actually very good signs. So this is definitely going to be a card that a lot of people are going to be pre-ordering, like myself, to get. Revelry of the Warlords, great for mono type decks, also to actually get. For good card, this is a great reprint in general. Conversion Witches is another manga trap card that actually Yusei utilized in the manga. If you have 5 or more Dragon Synchro monsters with different names in your graveyard, special summon 1 Stardust Dragon from your extra deck. This card is treated as Synchro Summon. You could equip this card, equip Stardust with this card, but banish it during the end phase. That equipped monster gains attack equal to the combined attack of all Dragon Synchro monsters in your graveyard. That's insane because there are a lot of great Dragon Synchro monsters that are out there. Each time an equipped monster destroys a monsters by battle, you can banish 1 Dragon Synchro monster from your graveyard, and that equipped monster can gain an additional attack in a row. Alright, that's not what the card was like in the manga. Instead, you were banishing the cards to pop cards, but this gives Stardust an additional attack. So this is definitely something I am very interested, especially with the new Stardust support coming out. And of course, we have the 3 Joshin. I know 2 of them have question mark attacks, but they're not searchable because they're dark attribute monsters. But if you have them in hand, you can summon them with the quick play for the face cards, Thunder Speed Summon. So not bad. I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm actually enjoying this particular set. I know this is a TCG exclusive set, but I am liking the cards that are in it. To be honest, the Joker card, from Joker's Night down to Joker's Wild, these cards I kind of want to see being made into speed duel cards. I know it's kind of weird for me to speak about speed duels, especially with not TCG Konami not really giving us that much support, but apparently I've just recently found out TCG Konami is not done with the speed duel format, so I'm holding hope for these cards to be actually made into speed duel cards. Magnet Induction is another card that needs to be speed duel. Same thing with Hyper Cannon, Golden Eye, and Golden Eye's Idol. These cards would be amazing in the speed duel format. That being said, I am enjoying the set. The set is actually really well crafted compared to some of the other side sets that were out there. The cards put in were very well thought of, and I'm just actually enjoying the set overall. So if you're definitely looking to pick up a box, definitely do it. The rarities for the side set are ultra rare, super rare, and rares. You get 6 rare cards plus 1 foil card in each pack, which isn't bad. I know they also added in 15 copies of 15 cards of the set are going to be collector's rares. I don't know what that's going to mean, but those are additional chase cards if you want to be looking for them. All in all, it's a solid set. I'm going to be looking more or less into picking up certain cards that can actually help my current decks. or decks that I have coming out in the future. Definitely the new Xyz Monster, Draco Future, as well as Lightning Storm are definitely on my get lists. So definitely this is something, if you're looking to get a box, definitely I would strongly suggest investing in it. But if you're not looking to get all the cards, just pick the singles that you want out of it. There are a lot of solid picks in this set, so it's definitely worth investing in at least some of the cards from it. Guys, that is it for this video. If you actually like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this on my channel, make sure to subscribe and enable the notifications so you don't miss any uploads. Check out the description box below. Find an invite link to my Discord server. Join the conversation. We'd love to have you. Check out the links for my affiliates, tcgplayer.com, as well as sidedeckversus.com. Great resources for any Yu-Gi-Oh player. Follow me on social media. And guys, until next time, peace.